So I'm pretty excited at the moment. I just got off the phone to a gentleman, and that gentleman was the guy that is going to be giving Eve a Roadworthy. So the time has come. I'm not going to say that it's finished, because it is not. A project car is never finished. We know that rule already. But as far as getting it to the point where it's completely street safe and passes a roadworthy with no issues, that's where it's at right now, and I'm extremely happy with it. So that's going to be this Friday, a few days' time. A few little things I got finished. The locks. Took down to a locksmith in Burleigh. And now they all work. So I now have a working fuel door. And big thanks to Jordan. Took me a long time to find one of these rear hatch locks. Jordan from Australia First Gen Celica Group on Facebook did find me one and send it. I did have to take both of these locks down to the locksmith to get the keys made for them, but it works. It works beautifully. So, oh yeah. I still have to put a black carpet over the back of that seat. I think it looks so gross when you open up the boot and all you see is this old piece of metal there, so I got to cover that up. So don't look at that. I just got to sit on it though to shut it, because the new rubbers around the edge of the windows are still quite thick. But check this out. Last time you saw me, we were working on the seats, and there they are in all their glory. I also managed to put new window winders on. The seats are in and they're looking stellar, so super happy with them. Massive shout out to brother Aaron at Restitch Trimming for getting that sorted, and right through the back even copies the same eyelet pattern. So we got beautiful black leather and suede seats. We've got a suede hood liner. We've got a suede dash with just a very quickly put together custom dash cluster on there with some eBay gauges, all new carpet underneath. Everything is working, so you know we're there. We're finally there. I haven't put a sound system in it yet. That's something I can do later. It's definitely not a necessity for a roadworthy. So I'm pretty stoked with how this has turned out. I still need to put like some badges here to cover these original holes. I'll just give it a quick turn on. Yeah, she's so nice. So she still does that little idle thing, only when it's cold. I know it is the idle speed control valve. Again, I'll sort that out later. When I took it apart one day and put it back together, it didn't do the up and down rev thingy that it's doing. So I got a funny feeling I just need a new one of those. And the good thing is I've got another one on that engine there, and I just haven't been bothered swapping it out yet. So I'll get around to that when I could be bothered. But that's pretty much it. The wheels are looking fat. I just got to do a couple of things to the car before the roadworthy guy gets here. Not that it matters, but just because I want to do it. I just got to clean up some edging around the chrome trims, the chrome bumpers, get all the dust out of the lettering of the tailgate there, and just give everything a real good tidy up. I still have to take it somewhere and get the rear window tinted, although I did the fronts. This rear one is real old, and I don't want to stuff up all of the demister lines in here. So really happy with the way this has turned out. Super excited because it is finally time to get a roadworthy done. Again, the seats are looking super awesome. So massively happy with them, and they're very comfy too. We filled out the cushions a little bit more so that they kind of hug you a tad more than the original seats. They're a bit slidey, and they hold you in spot really well, but still very comfy. So I've got the Roadworthy guys coming over right now. I rung up, I don't know, someone on Facebook, I think Dan's Mobile Roadworthy peoples. I've never met them before. I don't know much about them, but fingers crossed this car is in good enough nick to pass a roadworthy, because I've been waiting a long time. I'm genuinely nervous for the car. Oh, that's the wrong key. So fingers crossed, when they rock up, everything goes swell. I hope they're happy with the car. I hope everything passes it needs to pass. So where'd my little screwy things go for there? Okay, so I'm just going to prep the car quickly before they get here, like, you know, things like plugging the battery in. I'm just going to check the brake lights and indicators and all that before they get here, just so if they're not working, I can save them some time. They should all work fine though. But anyway, fingers crossed. All right, and here it sits waiting for the roadworthy people to get here and inspect her. I really hope that it's going to pass, because I've done a lot of work to this and I don't really want to do any more. I've kind of got plans this weekend where I'd like to take it, show a couple of my mates who have been listening to me talk about this car non-stop for the last few years. Apologies to those guys. But got myself some number plates too. These were actually a gift from my bro. BJ is a funny number plate, but that's also my initials. So BJM28 it is. I actually like them too, because they're kind of blue and they got the Gold Coast written on them. So fingers crossed next time you see me, hopefully it's going to pass a roadie. Wish me luck. Well, it's back in the shed, but it's registered. Yeah, that's so cool. So I just went down to the roadworthy place, gave them the roadworthy certificate, got some plates. Now, the original plates that I had that Aaron bought me that I spoke about earlier, we need a actual transfer form from the original owner to have them be put into my name. So until that happens, I've just got some standard run-of-the-mill plates that are going to go on it just so I can drive it. So I'm real excited. Plates are going to go on, and I'm going to give it its first little rundown. I'm just going to go down to the water and see how it performs on like a maybe 10-20 minute drive. Just going to check everything properly now. Because, you know, you can't do this when it's unregistered. So I'm excited. It's a massive moment for me. 4 years stuck in this little shed, or 3.5, 4 years stuck in this little tiny shed, building this thing. And it has finally paid off. So a little bit speechless. Very happy though. Let's go take it for a quick drive and maybe get a nice photo by the water, because it deserves it. Get it into the sunlight. It doesn't need to be in it. They don't want to
Look how happy he is. Oh, he's all...
Yeah, I'm happy, but I don't need my face in all the videos.
Oh, he's all nervous and embarrassed.
Come on, look, we got the car running. This is its first drive ever.
Yes,
so...
it is. Check out that back interior. Fuck, that's sexy.
It's amazing, like, now that it's actually registered, right? It feels like there's not a single problem with the car and nothing can possibly go wrong because it finally has number plates on it and registered. But
unfortunately, everything's redone because I can't touch any wood right now.
Yeah, there's no wood to be touched. So, pretty much, In my mind, it feels like everything's done and perfect, but we all know that it's probably not perfect. I've got a squeaky steering wheel for some reason. Like things like that are going to annoy me. Gears change real well. The steering is off because it needs a wheel alignment, and I probably actually put the wheel on a little bit funny. Apart from that, let's do this. Let's go down to the water just for a minute. Oh, indicators. Oh, they all work. That's so good.
Look,
oh, speedo works.
Long leg issues.
No. Plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
Plenty of room. These pedals I put in myself. I made them extra deep. No, I didn't. Here, record the front.
Oh.
Record the bonnet and the... We got our first look.
Oh, it sounds so good. Ew.
Oh, it does sound beautiful. Although the speedo is working, but I don't know what. It's not like I'm not doing 30 k's an hour, but it says I am. So I've got to work that out. I can hear the brakes, just a little bit of. Put our very first kilometre on the car. Fuel level, oil pressure, temp sitting at 100, which is fine. I got the fans running, got the heater open.
Carpet looks good.
Carpet's good. So a couple of whistles through the thing. Let's put the windows up and see what it's like with the sound.
Sounds a bit scary.
It's like the brakes. The brakes is what it is. Definitely the brakes. Oh, do I hit something?
I hope so. Unless it was a bolt falling off. Recording if it shows a black square?
Yeah, so that's a stop button.
Okay.
It's only 4,000 RPM. It was only 4,000. She's got more in it, but I'm not going to do any more than that though. I'm going to behave. That's disc brakes wearing in for sure. It's not running on the car.
Oh, I hear those turbos spool up.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're like a little diesel turbo.
Yeah.
So good. So the air is looking through the turbos. The temp is where it has been forever. That's koala face. Alright, so we made it down to the water. This thing looks fucking sick out in the, no, you're right. This thing looks sick out in the trees and the sunset and everything. Oh yeah, water. That's water down there. So first run, it's done really well. It's super smooth. The turbos sound sick, but it is a little bit hot. So I'm running temps up around 110, 115. I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem. I have thought that I'm going to have to change the radiator, which I'm probably going to do regardless. But it only really went up to that 115 mark when I gave it some berries, and and make those turbos spin. So we'll sort something like that out, sort that out a bit later. Right now it's just going to be a bit more shakedown. I got to go to the fuel station, put some more fuel in it. Aaron's got to go to the shop, so we'll do the rounds. But she's definitely looking sick. Bit of an attention grabber because I'm got some mad bloke over here just checking it out as well, which is expected, given you never see these cars on the road. But anyway, we're going to continue on and see what's next with her. Alright, so it was a big success. I'll call that a success because it's registered and everything, and the first drive was really cool and all. One thing I'm going to do in the future is get a bigger radiator because this is just not big enough. I think it's off an old Toyota Corolla, and it makes perfect sense that it's not going to be able to cool this properly. On top of that, I still haven't done anything with the rotors and the brake pads. There's plenty of pad left on the pads, but the problem is, on that short drive, this hub and the other side as well, the hubs have heated up so much that they're actually expelling the grease. It must be boiling on the inside of this hub and expelling the grease out from the side of that cap. It seems as though the brake pads are constantly in contact with the disc, just enough so that it's generating a lot of heat. If that's not the problem, then there's going to be something in the hub that may just need to be completely changed. Maybe the bearings are just completely stuffed, and they're generating a lot of heat. When I say a lot of heat, I mean a lot of heat. Like these wheels that I took off, like I can't even touch them for longer than a few seconds. Like that whole wheel is boiling. So no more driving for this until it's definitely cooled all the way down, and I'm ready to drive it to a shop where I can get some new rotors. Regardless, I'm going to get new rotors on this, including new pads, and I'll probably get the hubs replaced as well, the bearings. It's a job that I just never got around to doing, and now that I've driven the car and I know it's an issue, I'll get it done. So that's something that's going to get worked on. New radiator is definitely going to be on the list, like probably priority 1, just because the temps are too high in the car. The thermometer is reading, or the temp gauge is reading 110, 115, and it did go up to 120. I don't need to be driving this car at 110 degrees. I don't think it's a smart thing to do. So, that's going to get changed. New fluid's going to go through it. New oil's going to go through it. But apart from that, it's registered. It's finally completed. And I'm a happy chappy. So hope you enjoyed this real quick kind of just, I don't know, go over of the first drive. Once all this cools down, I'm going to get into those wheel hubs and pull them apart myself. Well, actually, I might not pull them apart myself because then I have to put them back together to take them to a shop. So maybe I'll just take the car to a shop. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll get on to doing a few of these jobs over the next few weeks. A few more videos will come out. But I am super excited to have this thing actually registered and on the road. And if I do need to go somewhere and get something quick, I can just jump in the car and do so. Definitely getting these issues fixed. That is priority. But I am ecstatic.